Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's video, I'm going to walk you all the way through my last US Bags Oscar's Mobile Hideout. This thing is amazing. This is my favorite trash bag I've ever had. If you watch some of the previous videos I've made, I've had a Trasharoo, and then I've had the JoyTutus, kind of another value option. Both of those are around 50 bucks. This one's about 200, so this is significantly more expensive than those, but I will say, there's a lot of thought and care that was put into the design of this bag. There are a lot of nice features on this bag that the other bags don't have. And just from like a quality and longevity standpoint, this is definitely a much nicer bag. So, you know, it's one of those things you kind of have to weigh out, right? If you're budget-minded like me, do you buy once, cry once, right? Do you buy a better piece of gear that's gonna last you longer and be better to use for that longevity, the time that you have it? Or do you buy a cheap one, wear it out, buy another cheap one, wear it out? So, you know, you kind of have to weigh those options. But I personally think it's worth getting this thing for sure, and I'm going to walk you through it and tell you exactly why. Alright, so first of all, let me just kind of show you the exterior of the bag. You'll notice that it's pretty rigid and filled out. Part of the reason for that is I do have a 10-gallon, I think it's a 10-gallon trash can in here. I will put a link in the description down below to that trash can that I bought because it fits perfectly in here. So if you have this bag and you're looking to fill it with a trash can to give it that structure and make it a little bit easier to put your trash bag in, then I can link you to that. But so on the outside, you know, this one's tan. They've got it in tan. They've got it in a beautiful green color. And then I think they have like a black one. But definitely click through that link below to go and check out all the ones that they've got. But so again, this quality of the material is fantastic compared to like a Trasharoo or my, you know, that JoyTutus bag that are kind of like a sewn canvas. This is like a waterproof vinyl almost, or something like that. That's what it feels like. So again, much higher quality. It's going to be water repellent. So if you have trash that you put in here without a trash bag, let's say, you can essentially just spray this thing out and clean it out. The fabric is much higher quality. It's not going to absorb the stinky, nasty, you know, beer leaking out of your beer cans or pop drinking coming out of your pop cans. It's not going to absorb the liquid stuff. You know, if there was poo in here and that leaked out, it'd be a lot easier to clean this bag than it would those other bags, just because of the type of material used. The straps are, the thing that I like about them is that they're really long. Which you can see actually allows me to put this thing on the back hatch of my truck. So it's out of the wind on the side of the truck where I used to mount them with the old ones that weren't long enough. But because of, again, the length of these straps and the quality of them, I actually have it going all the way around the hatch. So it goes up through the top of the hatch here, down, and then I just attached it via clips on the inside. So then on the outside here, you know, you've got a big clip on the front that holds the top down. So when you're driving on the highway, if you got this thing full of trash, that'll keep it closed. When you open that up, here's a really cool feature of this bag. There's this like waterproof mesh netting inside of here. So if you had some stuff like, let's say, some wet swimsuits or, you know, wet recovery gear or things like that you didn't really want to put back inside your vehicle, you could throw those in here and the mesh will allow it to drain down through the trash and out the grommets in the bottom of the bag and dry out. So it gives you a spot to put stuff. What I'm using it for right now is I've got some like hand wipes, some Kleenex in here, and I generally keep like extra trash bags in here too. So then I can just open this up, grab myself a trash bag here, you know, throw it down in, and I'll show you kind of down in here right now. There is a trash can in here with a trash bag on it, which gives it, again, that structure and lets the bag sort of stay in place. I sort of sandwiched it between the bag and the bin. It does have this really nice sort of cinchable material up here on the top too. So if you know, wanted to kind of cinch it down over the trash can, you could totally do that. Again, you may want to do that like before you hit the highway, right? Cinch this down just so nothing flies out, put the lid down, strap it, and then that way nothing's going to fly out of the top here while you're driving down the road. Another really nice feature that they put on this thing, at least for me, because I'm a big beer drinker, is there's a bottle opener right here. So if you're wondering what this thing is, it's also detachable. So if you wanted to put this on a backpack or something like that, you could do it, attach it to your tent, you know, your awning, whatever you want to do. But it's got a nice little bottle opener that's always there for you. Another thing that I like on the exterior here is the blue and red Velcro spot down here. So this is basically just a Velcro spot that makes the bag stand out a little bit if you put nothing on it. But if you want, it is the curly side of Velcro. So if you have like a morale patch like the ones I sell, link in the description below, you can stick it to this. So if you had your own patches or had a favorite patch of yours that you wanted to put on your trash bag just to kind of make it your own, make it a little unique, you can stick it right there. Again, there's more of this mesh netting on the front here, which is really nice. It's got kind of an elastic band at the top here, so you can put big, long things down in here. So again, recovery straps that got soaked in a mud pit, that kind of stuff. You could throw them right in here and just let them drain out from back here rather than having to throw them back inside your vehicle. On both sides, you've got these super long mesh pockets too. So again, same idea. You can put water bottles in there. You can put trash in there if you're doing like a trail cleanup. You can put wet recovery gear in there. You can put wet clothes in there. Anything that you need to drain, keep outside of the vehicle, you can throw them right in these mesh pockets on the side. On the top here too, I want to point out the quality of this handle is just really nice. It's got a good grip to it. It's a good size. So when you're moving this thing around off the truck, when you're taking it to dump it somewhere, or when you're taking it around, like when I took it out of my house to come and put it on the truck, it's just a really nice handle to give you a spot to grab it from, which a lot of these bags I feel like don't have that, so that's kind of a nice feature. But that's pretty much it for the exterior of the bag. So now let's move on to the interior. We've already talked about this mesh pocket here. There is, and this is really cool here, there's a button right here. And if you undo that button, you can pull this cutting board up out of it. Now you may ask, why is there a cutting board in it? Well, I actually watched Will from Last US Bags do a video on this once, and that's how I learned about it. But there's a cutting board in here, one, to give it a little bit more structure. This flap on the front here gives it some more structure. And two, he's big into fishing. So the thought with this is, you may not want to use this for every single meal because it's on your trash bag, right? But it is pretty protected in there. But like if you go fishing and you want to gut your fish and cut up your fish when you're done, you could use this thing, cut up your fish. Again, that's going to be smelly and nasty with fish smell, but then you can put it right back in your bag, keep it outside your vehicle. You've got a designated spot for it. So kind of a dual purpose. I like that there's that kind of thought, going into the design. That one, it gives you more rigidity. If you never fish, that's fine. You've got more rigidity in the front here. But if you want to cut stuff up, if you're a hunter, if you're a fisherman, you can use the cutting board for stinky, gross stuff that you need to cut up and then keep it on the outside of your vehicle. All right, so next, and this is one of my favorite features of this bag, you'll notice that there are big, long zippers that run down the whole face of this thing. The reason for that is you can actually unzip this whole flap and basically just drop it down. So again, if you're gonna take your trash bag out or take this trash bin out, like I said, it fits in there just about perfectly. I can just pop this whole thing right out really easy. I don't have to pull it up out of the top. I don't have to reach up through the top. I don't have to risk dumping all the trash on myself. I can just pull the whole front down, pull this thing out, dump the trash out, put it back in here, zip it back up. If you did get some stinky stuff down in there or had something leak all over the inside of the bag, it's really super easy to just unzip this and then throw a hose on it and just spray the whole thing out, let it drain, and you're good to go again. All right, so let's talk final thoughts. As you guys know, I've worked with Last US Bags for a long time now. They are a sponsor of mine. I appreciate them greatly. But regardless, I don't let that sway me. So here are my feelings on this thing. This thing is amazing. It is definitely the best trash bag I've ever had. Me being someone that has gotten more and more into overlanding to the point where now I have a YouTube channel, right? Obviously, I must like it a little bit. For me, this makes great sense. If you are just like a weekend camper and you don't go out that often, it may not make sense to spend $200 on a trash bag, right? Maybe that $50 Trasharoo would do just fine for you. If you are pretty serious about it, if you do want good quality gear, if you don't want to have to rebuy stuff when it wears out, I know those Trasharoos do fade really quickly from a coloring standpoint, and they're just not that tough. They tend to rip. I would be a little hesitant to put like firewood and or recovery gear in a Trasharoo, but this thing is way tougher. I would not feel at all nervous about putting that sort of stuff in here. So if you're on a budget and you just need something cheap and you don't go out that much, then a Trasharoo or a JoyTutus bag might make sense for you. However, if you're more into it, if you are going all the time and you want something that's going to hold up, that you're not going to have to worry about, that you can do more stuff with and has better, nicer features, then this is definitely the bag for you. And there are a lot of competitors in this price range too, but again, the Last US Bags guys, I mean, yes, I'm biased because I work with them, but I've also checked out their stuff compared to a lot of other people's stuff, and I will say I am just so impressed with the quality, right? It's really well made. I have no doubt that this thing's going to last forever. I know a lot of other people that have been running this even longer than me with no problems. And better yet, if there ever was a problem, I know I could call Last US Bags and they would take care of it, right? They're going to help me out. They're going to let me know what I can do to fix it. Again, in my opinion, this is a fantastic trash bag option. If you are more than an every, twice a year weekend camper, I think this is a good buy. So I hope that's helpful. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below. Click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a gear review and a vlog/podcast every week. Sometimes more videos than that. So if you're into overlanding, camping, Nissan Xteras, gear, anything like that, definitely click that subscribe button. Also in the description below are links to Facebook and Instagram and the podcast. So again, if you hang out on any of those channels and you want to have a conversation, then come over and join over there. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.